Welcome back to my YouTube channel, everyone, to another exciting episode where we uncover the fascinating stories behind rare and valuable coins that have turned ordinary cents into multi-million-dollar treasures. And today, we are diving deep into the incredible story of the 1978 D1-cent coin, a humble Lincoln penny that has stunned collectors and experts alike with its staggering worth of $7 million due to a combination of minting errors, production anomalies, and the sheer rarity that sets it apart from millions of other coins struck in the same year. Imagine holding what looks like an ordinary penny in your hand, a coin you might have ignored or spent without a second thought, only to discover it could buy you a mansion, luxury cars, and a lifetime of comfort, all because of the mysterious and rare minting mistakes that occurred more than 4 decades ago at the Denver Mint. The 1978 D penny, struck during a transitional period in U.S. mint history, has captivated the attention of collectors because of its unusual set of imperfections that occurred during production, making it not just a rare collectible but a true numismatic marvel. To understand why this penny is worth millions, let's journey back to 1978, when the U.S. Mint was producing billions of Lincoln cents, primarily made of 95% copper and 5% zinc. The Denver Mint, identified by its D mint mark below the date, was responsible for striking hundreds of millions of these coins. But somewhere among the regular circulation strikes, a few extraordinary pieces slipped through that defied normal minting standards, creating a mystery that continues to fascinate experts even today. The most notable feature that makes the $7 million 1978 D penny stand out is its striking double die error, where the die used to imprint the design onto the coin was misaligned slightly during production, causing the lettering, date, and even parts of Lincoln's profile to appear doubled when viewed under magnification. This doubling is not just slight or barely visible. In the case of this particular specimen, the doubling is so bold that you can clearly see the double digits in the 1978 date and the letters in Liberty and "In God We Trust," making it a textbook example of a dramatic double die error, the kind that excites even the most seasoned collectors. But that's not the only mistake that adds to its immense value. Experts have found that this specific penny also exhibits what is known as a die clash error, where the obverse and reverse dies struck each other without a planchet in between, leaving faint mirrored impressions of Lincoln's portrait on the reverse side and the Lincoln Memorial on the obverse. This creates a ghost-like image effect that makes the coin look unique and almost artistic, a minting accident that transformed into a rare collectible masterpiece. Adding to its mystery, the 1978 D1 cent has also been reported with an off-center strike, where the coin's design is shifted slightly from its normal position, often between 5 and 15% off-center. This kind of error makes each piece different from another, as no two off-center strikes are identical, and collectors pay huge sums for coins that show this level of visible imperfection while still preserving most of the design details. What makes this coin even more fascinating is that in certain rare cases, it was struck on the wrong planchet altogether, meaning it was accidentally produced using a blank mint for a foreign coin or a U.S. denomination of a different metal composition. For example, there are rumors and limited confirmations of a few 1978 D pennies being struck on dime planchets or foreign bronze blanks, which makes them lighter in weight and gives them a distinct color and ring when dropped on a hard surface. Such off-metal errors are among the rarest and most sought after by collectors because they provide physical proof of human or mechanical oversight during the minting process, and their rarity is what propels their value into the millions. Another contributing factor to the enormous value of this coin is its pristine condition. The known specimen that sold for an astonishing $7 million was in a near-perfect mint state, preserved for decades without scratches, discoloration, or wear, graded by a top-tier coin certification company with a rating of MS68 red, which is almost unheard of for coins of that era. The bright red copper luster, sharp details, and clean surfaces made it one of the finest examples ever discovered. For coin collectors, such condition combined with multiple minting errors is like striking gold. The rarity is not only in its error, but in its state of preservation, which makes this penny more than a collectible. It becomes a historical artifact that bridges the past and present. Many experts believe that the errors occurred during a short production run when mint machinery malfunctioned or when new dies were being adjusted, and since quality control was manual and limited at the time, a few of these error coins might have entered circulation unnoticed. Over time, most were either spent, melted, or damaged, leaving only a handful of survivors. This scarcity is what fuels the astronomical value. The story of its discovery is equally thrilling. A lucky collector reportedly found one in a mixed bag of old coins purchased from a local estate sale, completely unaware that he was holding one of the most valuable pennies ever produced. After expert authentication, the coin made headlines in the numismatic world, with collectors and historians racing to trace its origins and confirm its unique combination of errors. Beyond its technical anomalies, the 1978 D1 cent also holds symbolic value as a reminder of how something as small as a penny can turn into a multi-million-dollar fortune when time, rarity, and curiosity come together. The Denver Mint itself had a history of producing some notable errors in the 1970s, including misaligned dies, broad strikes, and off-metal planchets, so it's not entirely surprising that such a spectacular error could emerge from its presses. But what makes this coin so extraordinary is that all those errors converged in one perfect storm on a single piece. There's also speculation that the copper composition of this penny contributes to its lasting brilliance and durability, as pre-1982 pennies contained significantly more copper, giving them higher intrinsic value compared to the zinc-based cents that came later. Some enthusiasts believe that the combination of copper purity, die errors, and the Denver Mint's unique striking pressure gave this coin its distinct appearance and durability. When placed beside ordinary 1978 D pennies, this particular one stands out instantly for its deeper red hue, sharper relief, and subtle misalignments that the trained eye immediately recognizes as indicators of a mint error. Over the years, as coin collecting gained popularity online, photos and stories about this legendary penny spread like wildfire across forums and auctions, inspiring thousands of people to check their pocket change in hopes of finding their own treasure. The dream of discovering a $7 million penny keeps the excitement of numismatics alive, and the 1978 D cent serves as a perfect example that fortune sometimes hides in plain sight. Even seasoned experts admit that the fascination with this coin lies not just in its errors, but in the mystery surrounding how it slipped past inspection and into the hands of the public. Every line, every mark, and every doubled letter tells a story of mint machinery, human oversight, and the unpredictable nature of mass production. Today, collectors regard it as a holy grail of modern era coins, a piece that represents the peak of value achievable by a single cent denomination. Some speculate that if another example in similar condition were to appear, it could surpass even $7 million, potentially setting a new record in the coin world. This kind of value doesn't just come from hype. It's a reflection of rarity, desirability, and the historical fascination attached to every unique error. It's a story that reminds us how even the smallest details can make the biggest difference, how one small coin meant to symbolize everyday currency became a symbol of extraordinary fortune. So, whenever you come across a 1978 D penny, take a moment to look closely. Examine the date, the mint mark, the lettering, and Lincoln's face. You might not have a $7 million coin, but who knows? The tiniest doubling, the slightest shift, or a faint clash mark could mean the difference between an ordinary cent and a life-changing discovery. Next, 2008 D1 cent USA coin, where we explore the incredible stories behind coins that have transformed from pocket change into multi-million-dollar treasures. And today's story is about one of the most astonishing discoveries in modern coin history. The 2008 1-cent coin that shocked the numismatic world by reaching an unbelievable value of $5 million because of its rare minting errors, fascinating mistakes, and mysterious origins that make it one of the most sought-after Lincoln cents ever produced. Imagine holding a simple penny in your hand, something you might have ignored or tossed into a jar, only to realize it could be worth more than a luxury mansion, exotic cars, or even your lifelong savings. The 2008 penny, minted at the Denver Mint, is one of those coins whose imperfections turn it into a masterpiece of rarity and value. To understand why this tiny coin carries such a massive price tag, we need to explore its unique production history and the rare combination of errors that make it stand out from billions of ordinary cents produced that same year. In 2008, the U.S. Mint was still producing the traditional Lincoln Memorial reverse design before switching to the Lincoln Bicentennial designs in 2009, making this year's issues the last of an era. The Denver Mint, known for its D-Mint mark, produced over 2 billion pennies that year, but among them, a few rare specimens left the facility with extraordinary minting anomalies that changed their fate forever. The most famous of these errors is the double die obverse error, where the die that struck the coin's obverse side was accidentally misaligned during preparation, causing the design elements like "In God We Trust, Liberty" and the date 2008 to appear doubled when viewed under magnification. This doubling is not faint or subtle. On the $1 million specimens, it's bold and clear, with distinct doubling on Lincoln's eye, lips, and the digits of the date. Such pronounced doubling makes it immediately recognizable to expert collectors and increases its rarity exponentially. But that's not the only error that adds to the coin's massive value. There's also the off-metal planchet error, where a few of these 2008 cents were struck on planchets meant for foreign coins or even other U.S. denominations, such as dimes or nickels. This means they were produced using the wrong metal composition, giving them a lighter or heavier weight and a slightly different color tone when compared to normal copper-plated zinc cents. When analyzed, these error coins have been found to contain different metal ratios, with some showing traces of bronze or nickel instead of the usual copper-zinc blend, a clear sign that a foreign planchet accidentally entered the Denver Mint's production line. These types of errors are extremely rare, as modern quality control systems are designed to catch such anomalies immediately, which makes their survival almost miraculous. Another reason the 2008 penny is worth millions is the presence of a dramatic die clash error. This occurs when the obverse and reverse dies strike each other without a planchet between them, transferring faint mirrored impressions of Lincoln's profile onto the reverse and parts of the Lincoln Memorial onto the obverse. These clash marks give the coin a ghost-like appearance, as if Lincoln's face is faintly visible behind the memorial, a hauntingly beautiful result of minting machinery malfunction. For error coin enthusiasts, this kind of imperfection represents the perfect storm of rarity, artistry, and history, all captured in one coin. In some cases, the error combination on these coins is so unique that each one is one of a kind. No two are exactly alike, making them priceless in the eyes of collectors. What further boosts the value of this particular coin is its near-perfect state of preservation. The specimen that sold for $5 million was graded MS69 red by one of the world's leading grading authorities, a near-impossible grade for a coin that old and circulated. It retained its bright copper luster, sharp details, and flawless surfaces, as if it had been freshly minted yesterday. Such impeccable condition suggests that this penny was never used in circulation, but somehow preserved unknowingly by a collector or hidden away in a bank roll for years before being rediscovered. This pristine condition combined with its multiple striking errors elevated it to legendary status. Adding to the fascination is another layer of rarity. Some of these 2008 pennies exhibit what's called a broad strike error, where the coin was struck without the restraining collar, allowing the metal to expand outward beyond its normal diameter. The result is a slightly larger, flatter penny with missing or stretched edges. These coins look bizarre and instantly catch attention, but when this broad strike occurs along with doubling and die clash, it creates a 1 in a billion specimen that no collector can resist. Experts suggest that these errors happened during a short production run in late 2008, possibly when new dies were being tested or replaced, and a mechanical malfunction allowed a few misaligned or incorrect blanks to enter the striking chamber. Since 2008 was a year of high penny production, it's likely that these few flawed coins went unnoticed amidst the massive output and eventually entered circulation or were bagged for bulk distribution before inspection teams could remove them. This chance occurrence is what gives this coin its story, a story of oversight, luck, and the unpredictable nature of minting technology. The historical significance of the 2000 and AD penny also plays a role in its desirability. As the final year before the Lincoln Bicentennial redesign, it symbolizes the end of the Lincoln Memorial Series that had been used since 1959. Collectors value coins that mark the end or beginning of an era, and when you add rare errors to that context, the result is explosive demand. Moreover, the composition of 2000 and AD pennies, 97.5% zinc with a 2.5% copper plating, makes them more susceptible to deterioration, so finding one in mint condition with vivid red color is rare by itself, let alone one with multiple visible errors. When such a specimen appears, collectors are willing to pay astronomical sums. The particular $5 million coin reportedly surfaced when a man cleaning out his father's old coin collection found a roll of 2000 and AD pennies and noticed one looked different, with strange doubling on the date. After professional grading and authentication, it was declared genuine and sold privately to an elite collector who called it the crown jewel of modern mint errors. The coin's fame quickly spread across numismatic circles and online forums, sparking a new wave of interest in error coins from the 2000s. Collectors began rechecking their coin jars, pocket change, and old rolls, hoping to find another treasure like this. Even today, people search through 2000 and AD pennies under magnifiers, inspecting the date, lettering, and Lincoln's face for hints of doubling or off-center strikes. The coin's estimated value of $5 million comes not only from its errors, but also from its unique combination of circumstances, being an end-of-era coin, struck with multiple mechanical mistakes, preserved in perfect condition, and authenticated by experts as a one-of-a-kind specimen. Some numismatists have argued that its value could rise even further in the future, especially if no other coin with the same characteristic surfaces. Beyond the technical side, what truly fascinates people is how such a small, everyday object became a symbol of rarity, reminding everyone that extraordinary treasures can be hiding in plain sight. The Denver Mint, where this coin was born, has a long history of producing some of America's most intriguing minting errors, often because of its high-speed production systems and constant die replacements. Over the years, other valuable pennies, like the 1983 D copper penny, 1992 D close AM, and 1999 wide AM have emerged from the same facility, proving that even modern minting technology isn't immune to human error or mechanical glitches. The 2000 and AD penny simply takes this tradition to an extreme, combining several error types into one coin and surviving decades in perfect form. For collectors, it's not just about the money, it's about the story, the mystery of how such a piece came to be, and the thrill of knowing that somewhere, another one might still be out there waiting to be found. The microscopic details on this coin reveal even more mysteries. Tiny die cracks running through Lincoln's coat, slight weakness in the strike. Last 2023 D1 said USA Coin, where we uncover the most fascinating stories behind the world's rarest and most valuable coins. And today we are diving into one of the most unbelievable discoveries in modern minting history, the 2023 D1 cent coin, a tiny copper-plated piece of metal that has shocked collectors across the world by reaching an astounding value of $2 million. Not because of its age or rarity in numbers, but because of the extraordinary minting errors, mechanical mistakes, and mysterious anomalies that have turned this simple penny into one of the most talked about treasures of the decade. Imagine holding what looks like an ordinary penny from your loose change, a coin you might spend without a second thought, but in reality, it could make you a millionaire overnight. That's the magic of minting errors. When something goes slightly wrong at the mint, it can sometimes produce a masterpiece of imperfection that collectors will pay unimaginable sums for. The 2023 D penny, struck at the Denver Mint, is one such remarkable creation, where a combination of human oversight, die malfunction, and metal mix-ups gave birth to a 1 in a billion coin that represents the rare beauty of minting mistakes. To truly understand why this coin is worth $2 million, we need to explore every layer of its uniqueness, starting with the fact that it's a modern coin, produced during a time when minting technology is at its most advanced, with digital engraving, high-speed presses, and rigorous quality control systems designed to prevent exactly these kinds of errors. So, for a coin like this to exist in 2023, when almost every coin is laser-checked and machine-scanned for defects, makes it nothing short of miraculous. The first and most noticeable error on the 2023 D penny is its dramatic double die obverse, a condition where the coin's design elements are doubled due to a slight misalignment between the hub and the die during production. When viewed under magnification, the letters In God We Trust, and Liberty, along with the digits of the date, 2023, appear doubled and slightly shadowed, creating a stunning three-dimensional effect that catches the light differently from every angle. Collectors adore such doubling because it's a direct result of a minting mishap that's both visible and artistically striking. In the case of this $2 million specimen, the doubling is bold and sharp, particularly around Lincoln's eye and the edges of the lettering, making it one of the clearest double dies of the modern era. But the story doesn't stop there. This coin also displays a remarkable off-center strike error, where the blank planchet was not perfectly aligned within the collar during striking, resulting in a coin that slightly shifted to one side. About 10 to 15% of the design is missing from one edge, giving it an asymmetrical and eye-catching appearance. Coins with off-center errors are already considered valuable, but when combined with a strong double die, the rarity multiplies exponentially. Adding to its allure is another mysterious flaw, the planchet composition error. Some 2023 D pennies were reported to have been struck on blanks that didn't meet the exact copper zinc specifications required for the year, possibly due to leftover planchets from experimental batches or a mix-up in the minting process. As a result, these coins have a slightly different color and metallic resonance when tapped. The rare $2 million specimen, when tested, showed traces of higher copper content than standard 2023 cents, making it heavier by a fraction of a gram, which further confirms that it was an accidental off-metal strike. These planchet anomalies are extremely rare in the modern minting era and immediately attract serious collectors, who specialize in such flukes of history. Furthermore, this penny exhibits what's known as a die clash error, a subtle but fascinating imperfection caused when the obverse and reverse dies strike each other without a planchet in between, transferring faint mirrored images of Lincoln's portrait onto the reverse and hints of the Union shield onto the obverse. These ghost-like images give the coin a mysterious, layered appearance, as if history itself has been imprinted twice on its surface. When examined under proper lighting, one can even make out faint outlines of the shield stripes behind Lincoln's shoulder, an unintentional yet beautiful result of mechanical malfunction. Now, what makes this coin even more astonishing is that despite all these dramatic errors, it was found in mint state condition, with a grading of MS69 read by a leading coin certification authority. That means it retains its bright, fiery copper luster with virtually no marks, scratches, or blemishes, something that's almost unheard of for a coin that went through such a chaotic minting process. The combination of near-perfect preservation and dramatic errors makes it a once-in-a-lifetime discovery. Experts estimate that fewer than 3 coins with a similar error combination might exist, but only one has been verified and authenticated so far, and that's the one that fetched an incredible $2 million in a private auction between elite collectors. The story of its discovery is equally fascinating. A young coin enthusiast reportedly found the coin in a roll of newly circulated 2023 pennies from a local bank in Colorado, not realizing at first that he was holding one of the rarest coins in the world. He noticed the doubling on the date and sent it for grading, and when the results came back confirming multiple major mint errors, the coin became an instant sensation in the numismatic community. Collectors and experts couldn't believe that a modern penny, produced in an age of advanced precision, could contain such spectacular errors. This sparked a new wave of excitement among collectors, encouraging people all over the country to recheck their change and new rolls of 2023 pennies for possible treasures. Another rare aspect of this coin is what experts call a misaligned die strike, where one of the dies was not seated perfectly parallel to the other, causing slight tilting in the design. This can be seen around the edges of the coin where the rim is uneven, thicker on one side and thinner on the other. While minor misalignments occur occasionally, the one on this particular coin is pronounced enough to be visible to the naked eye, further distinguishing it from normal strikes. There are also microdie cracks visible near Lincoln's collar and along the right side of the coin, subtle fractures in the die that occurred after prolonged use. These cracks leave raised lines on the coin's surface, adding yet another layer of unique texture and authenticity. The Denver Mint, known for producing billions of pennies each year, rarely lets such multi-error coins escape into circulation, but it's believed that this one was struck during a brief machinery malfunction that occurred in early 2023, when production lines were being recalibrated for the next batch of coins. In that small window of mechanical instability, a few flawed coins like this slipped through unnoticed. Because of the high-speed production environment, it's easy for minor misfeeds or misalignments to go undetected, especially when coins are produced by the millions per day. This coincidence of timing and mechanical imperfection is what makes this penny so valuable, an accident that could never be replicated. Beyond the technical aspects, the 2023 penny's value also lies in its symbolism. It represents the continued mystery and excitement of coin collecting, showing that even in the age of automation, human error and machine imperfection can still create miracles. It reminds collectors that every coin has a story, and sometimes that story can be worth millions. This penny, minted less than 2 years ago, bridges the old world of numismatic rarity with the modern fascination of precision minting gone awry. It's a testament to how even the smallest details, a shadowed letter, a shifted rim, or a faint die clash, can turn something ordinary into something extraordinary. Today, the 2023 D1 cent worth $2 million is considered one of the most iconic modern era coins, standing alongside historic legends like the 1955 double die penny and the 1943 copper cent. Its story continues to inspire both new and veteran collectors to look closer at every coin that passes through their hands. It's a perfect example of how a simple mistake can transform into a masterpiece of numismatic history, proving once again that the world's greatest treasures sometimes hide in plain sight.